What is happening, all you football and Dolphins fans out there? It is finally draft week, and man, I just cannot wait for the opening of the draft later on in the week. As a Miami Dolphins fan, I've been waiting for the draft since December, since we had a 5-11 season. I was just checking out prospects and everything since, God, October, November, so this is going to be a huge treat. And with everything that's been currently going on in the world, with the virus and lockdowns, this weekend is just going to be a huge treat for millions of NFL fans all across the globe. So in today's video, I'll be giving you guys my final mock draft ahead of the draft. Just going to be doing 6 rounds in this mock draft, which is going to be 11 picks overall, which should be plenty to go over. A full 7-round mock draft would definitely be overkill, and honestly, I feel like the chances of the Dolphins using all 14 picks is just close to none. With such a huge gap between the 3rd and 4th round selections, I'm sure the team will be looking to possibly move up in round 4 to snag some talented prospects. Between the 70th and the 141st overall pick, I mean, that's 70 picks, so I'm sure they're going to be looking to, get up in round 4 and snag some guys, because there's a number of great talents earlier on in the 4th round, and hopefully they can get up there in the 4th and, get those guys on the team. So let's start here with the 5th overall pick, and with that pick, I took Jedrick Wills out of Alabama. In my opinion, Jedrick Wills, the best tackle in his class. He'd be a franchise tackle for many years to come. His technique is perfect. He's got great athleticism and strength and just great demeanor, and he just plays with tremendous physicality, and he'd be a perfect tackle to put on the right or the left side. We haven't seen him on the left side, so we don't know what that would look like, but we've seen how he plays on the right side, so I'm sure that kind of ability and athleticism could translate to left tackle, but Jedrick Wills is my pick here at 5th overall. With the 18th overall pick, I'm taking Jordan Love out of Utah State for the Dolphins. He's going to be our future franchise quarterback. He's got all the ability in the world to develop into the kind of guy that we're hoping for. He can win in the structure of the pocket. He can win with his legs. He can throw on the run. His accuracy is just off the charts. And I just love his throwing motion. And he's also got a strong arm to match. And I think he'd come into the perfect situation with the Dolphins. We got Fitzpatrick and Rosen on the team. He'd be able to come in and learn behind Fitzpatrick and compete with Rosen for the backup role. But I think with a year developing under Fitzpatrick, Jordan Love would possibly step in as a starting quarterback to lead this offense to greatness. I really think that Jordan Love has got the potential to develop into that kind of quarterback. But I know a lot of guys want Tua, or possibly at this point Herbert, even though Herbert, he really isn't, big with the Dolphins fans. But Jordan Love is the pick here for me at 18th overall. I think that he's got all the ability in the world, and I think that he can develop into the best quarterback in this draft. So with pick 26, the 26th overall pick, I got the Dolphins taking Josh Jones, the tackle out of Houston. Josh Jones has played 4 seasons for the Cougars, and it definitely showed at the Senior Bowl. He held his ground against every pass rusher that was thrown his way, but he's just a big tackle that would be able to step in on the left side opposite Jedrick Wills, so we wouldn't have 2 rookies next to each other, so, that wouldn't be too much of a hindrance to the O-line, because, rookies can sometimes struggle, so it would be great for them to have veteran offensive linemen beside them to, help them along their way in the NFL. So with the 39th overall pick, our first pick in the 2nd round, I got the Dolphins taking safety Antoine Winfield out of Minnesota. You could have Antoine Winfield as the best safety in this draft, and I really think he's got a good chance to go somewhere, in the mid to late 1st round and early 2nd round. But if he was to fall to us with the 7th pick in the 2nd round, it would be perfect for this defense, because he's super versatile when it comes to playing safety. He can play free safety. He's awesome in zone coverage. His ball skills are just off the chart. He had 7 interceptions this past year for Minnesota, but he also can step in the box and play with physicality. He's a 5'10 safety, and he's over 200 pounds, so he really can tackle with physicality, just like his father, Antoine Winfield Sr., and he'd be a perfect addition to this defense to be a versatile piece to just dominate and, be one of the foundational pieces for the defense. With the Dolphins' 2nd pick in the 2nd round, the 56th overall pick, I had the Dolphins taking running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of LSU. Just like Antoine Winfield, I think he's the best at his position. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I've said it in many videos, he's an absolute bowling ball of just electrifying offensive talent. He can just really do it all. I love the way he catches the ball at the position. I love the way he's just an absolute load to bring down. He's 5'7", like 200, nearly 10 pounds. So He's an absolute beast at the position, but I just love his ability to impact the game in many areas. Just, yeah, like I said, in the passing game, he's got tremendous hands. He runs awesome routes, similar to Christian McCaffrey, but also as a runner, he can blast between the tackles and also get out on the outside. Just his ability to stick his foot in the ground and make cuts is just, in my opinion, the best in this draft. And just a running back, Hilaire's size just shouldn't be able to dominate the way he does. I mean, he plays like a 6'1", 230-pound back. He's just super dominant physically, and I would love him on this offense to pair with Jordan Howard to be just an electrifying talent to pick up yards every time he steps on the field with this offense. So, on to round 3, the 70th overall pick. I got the Dolphins taking edge rusher Jonathan Greenard out of Florida. I think this guy is just an absolute natural at the position. He's got everything you want physically. He's got great length, great size. He's 6'3", 260 pounds, and he's just an absolute force at the position. You can just tell he's got tremendous instincts. He batted down multiple balls for Florida over the last couple of years, but you can just tell he knows how to rush. He's got tremendous power in his hands, and I think he'd be an awesome rusher to add to the team behind Shaq Lawson and Emmanuel Ogba, to learn from those guys and, get some spot reps here and there to develop into the dominant edge rushing force that I know that Greenard can be. On to the 4th round here, where I'm hoping the Dolphins can move up. As it currently stands, we've got the 35th pick in the 4th round, 141 overall, so hopefully they can use some of the picks in the 5th and 6th round, or possibly 7th, to move up in the 4th to snag, some talented guys. But with the 141st overall pick, I got the Dolphins taking Harrison Hand, cornerback out of Temple. He's a 6-foot corner, and I love the way he plays the position. He knows how to mirror his man. He's tremendous in press coverage, which is what the Dolphins love from their corners. Like I said, he's 6 foot. He's got great size, but he's also got good ball production at Temple. He's had multiple interceptions this past season. I think he had 4 or something like that. I'll be putting up his stats in the video, but I think he'd be an awesome young depth piece behind Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. I think he'd definitely have a chance to, get in as the 3rd or 4th corner. But yeah, I just really like the way he plays the position. I think that he'd fit in perfectly because his skill set is exactly what the Dolphins look for from their cornerbacks, and he also has no trouble at all tackling. He's a pretty physical tackler, and that's exactly why I love him for the Dolphins here at the 131st overall pick. You probably could get him in the 5th round, but I felt like Hand was the best possible value here at the 131st pick. On to the 5th round here. Our first pick in the 5th round, the 133rd overall pick. I got the Dolphins taking James Proche, or Proche, however you say it, wide receiver out of SMU. I know the Dolphins have got great depth at the position, but Proche is a talent that I just couldn't pass up. He runs tremendous routes. He's got crisp routes. He's got great hands. He's just the full package at the position. I think for the time being, he'd be perfect as our slot receiver. He would be competing with a lot of guys: Albert Wilson, Jakeem Grant, Isaiah Ford, Alan Hearns. It would take a lot for him to get in, but I think that, between Preston Williams and Devontae Parker, Proche would be a perfect slot corner to do his thing because he really knows how to get open. He's also got the versatility to play on the outside because he can make some insane circus catches. Just the way he goes up and snatches the ball out the air. His concentration is off the charts, and for a guy that's got short arms, he's got huge hands, and that definitely helps him. So I've got him here for the Dolphins. With the second pick here in the 5th round, we got back-to-back picks in the 5th round. Pick 154, I got the Dolphins taking tight end Devin Asiasi out of UCLA. I know that we signed a couple tight ends, Michael Roberts, and we got pretty decent depth, but I'm a huge fan of Asiasi's game. He's just super physical. He's 6'3", 255 pounds, but he's got 4.7 speed, which is good for a tight end and definitely for a guy his size, but he's a tremendous playmaker. He's incredibly hard to bring down at that size, and he's a tremendous athlete. He's a smaller guy at 6'3", but I think that, he could be another version of Charles Clay, a smaller tight end that when he catches the ball, turns into an absolute weapon. And Asiasi, I would love to have him, on this offense to help out the quarterback, whoever's under center, and I think Asiasi would have a tremendous chance to dominate through the middle of the field because he's a beast. And with the last pick in the 5th round, the 173rd overall pick, I got the Finns taking Broderick Washington, defensive tackle out of Texas Tech. I'm a huge fan of his game. I think that he can collapse the pocket. He wins his one-on-one mashups. I just think that he's a tremendous inside rusher, and he'd be nice depth, beside Christian Wilkins and Gottschall. Who knows? They could be taking a tackle earlier on in the draft, a guy like a Raekwon Davis or a Leaky Fotu or Neville Gallimore, but Broderick Washington, I really love his game, and yeah, just getting into the NFL and getting stronger. I think that he could possibly be a nice guy to rotate on the inside of the defensive line. So on to the last pick here in this mock draft. We're on to the 6th round, the 185th overall pick. I got the Dolphins taking safety Alohi Gilman out of Notre Dame. I know it's not a safety, but I think that Gilman would be an absolutely perfect safety to plug into this defense and just give us some depth, because the Dolphins at times have got 6 DBs in the field, and I think that Gilman could help out tremendously in this regard. He's great in the box. He's also great, playing free safety, getting back in coverage. He's got great versatility, and he was a captain for Notre Dame, so he's got tremendous character, and going to Notre Dame, he's a bright kid, so I think he'd be a perfect addition to help out with depth in the secondary, because this coaching staff and Brian Flores can do wonders with safeties, and also bringing over Gerald Alexander from California. That California defense was tremendously coached. You could just see with guys like Ashton Davis and that whole secondary, they were a great organized unit, and I think adding a guy like Gilman, who I think is going to go way early in the draft. I think he's going to go like in the 4th or 5th round. But Alohi Gilman, I love him for this defense, because I'm just confident that this coaching staff can get the best out of him, and I think that he can be a dominant safety in the NFL. So that's it for this mock draft, guys. Just doing 6 rounds. Like I said earlier on, 14 picks I thought would have been overkill, and I thought it'd just be a way too watered down mock. So we're doing 6 rounds here, 11 overall picks, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you like my picks. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments section of my mock draft here. I might be doing a final mock draft the night before the draft, but we'll see how things go. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. We are close to the draft, man. We got 3-4 days. I just cannot wait. We're nearly at the finish line. We got 3 days of bliss. I just love the NFL draft, man. Cannot wait for the first round. 3 picks in the first round, 2 in the second. We got 6 overall in the top 70. So we got a number of picks to build this foundation, and it's super exciting, man. I just cannot wait. This is the greatest thing that's going to happen this year so far, and just waiting on pins and needles. Alrighty, cheers, guys.